Hello everyone, I'm Shweta Dubey, CMO at Alea IT Solutions, bringing you Alea Unfiltered. Everyone is talking about how AI is changing the world. We are here not just ask a simple question that will AI replace a job or not, but will AI is interrupting our thinking or it's stopping our thinking?
So it's not like that. I won't agree because AI is making us more productive, helping us write emails, doing basic research, right, and handling a few of the things which used to take a lot of time. So it is making us productive. It is how we use that.
So you're saying that AI is making us smarter, not lazy.
Not at all. I won't agree. It is making us smarter, definitely.
But to some extent I think that we were already lazy and somehow it enhances that and it is I agree that it is making us smarter, but I think it enhances our laziness as well, interrupting our thinking.
Huh. Not exactly because when you are interacting with AI also, then also you are using your brains, right? You are thinking, you're putting in efforts, you are doing some brainstorming, you are putting your thoughts in behind that. So it is not that it is making us lazy or more lazy, but yes, definitely there is a pool of people, right, who are becoming lazy with that. So if you take a normal example of a new starter who's just getting into the industry or any of the job or any profile rather, so they think that they will be able to cover up that just using AI. They'll be able to prepare for the basics and will be able to showcase that they're knowledgeable, they're intelligent, they have understanding using the AI. So it is not that, because there will be a saturation where you will stop, because you won't be able to overcome that until unless you are intelligent, right? So
Right.
to become intelligent, you have to do research, you have to study, you have to learn, you have to explore the things, you have to do some research. So that is where AI is helpful. That is also where AI is helpful, but it is how you're using it.
Yes, so to some extent in the marketing, if I say that a long time ago, few months back or few years back, when there was a requirement, we have to do all the brainstorming, research for the proposal, research for the features, analyze the competitors, and it
Right.
was taking few days to come out with a good detailing, good features, good analysis, and the proposal. But I think with AI, it has it has increased the working amount of time to 10x, I would say, because now we just feed in the data and ask, and we at least get a good amount of analysis, good amount of stats, good amount of knowledge, which can now be worked upon, and within I think 1 or 2 days maximum, the proposal is done and it is being sent.
Yes, so that is a part of the marketing. Now come to the development side. So
Yes.
when we get the details from the development, from the business executives, right, the BD guys. So before they were giving us the module-wise distribution, now they are giving us more detailed versions. They're giving us a lot of details because they are able to explore and make those details available to us.
Right.
So when it comes to the developers now, right? So the scenario changes. So before, developers used to do the sprint plannings on an agile, using an agile methodology. They used to do the sprint plans. Then they used to do the fortnight meetings, discussing, planning things, then reiterating that, and continuously. That was a continuous chain. Now with AI, what has happened? There's a big change, right? Because you know the scope, you can define your modules easily. AI helps you in doing that, and it is not that you can do everything with AI. You need
But
the
at least you're
engineers.
getting the MVP ready in
Yeah, you know the basic flow you can get ready, and you can get it signed off easily with the client. So that gives confidence to the client also, because he sees that, okay, this is what gonna come out. Right? At least he doesn't have to wait for months just to see the MVP or the workflow. So that is an advantage. But yes, if you talk about the developers, now there's a big challenge, right? So as you said, that lazy and the
smart.
productive or smarter. So with AI, I think I would say that the engineers are becoming lazy. They are super excited now because they have somebody as a coworker, as a colleague, or as a companion with whom they can do their brainstorming in their language. So the barrier of the language is going away. So you can talk to ChatGPT in Hindi, understand. You can talk in any other language, you can understand in your own language, and put in the thoughts in your code. Now, the challenge that will come, which I think the lazy part, the new generation might not adapt it because they'll what they're doing right now. They're just putting their question, blindly trusting, and getting that output, putting into the code, and executing that.
Yeah, correct. So I was about to say this, that let's flip the coin.
Okay.
So AI is making us smarter. We are just giving the input, we are getting the output, and that too with a deep thinking. But what about the students who are actually not being grown up using like having a skill of problem solving? What about the content writer who are not exploring and not researching, and they are just producing using AI? What about the other people, other industries who are like you said about the developers? So they are not just thinking about the logical solutions or the logical architecture. What they are doing is they are just asking, and even for the debugging, they are just copying and pasting it. Even if there is a bug, they are just copying and pasting the bug. So yes, it is interrupting to some extent. It is interrupting the thinking.
So the major problem is when you're using AI, you cannot rely on, right? Because it is not the 100% developed model till now. It is under the development. It will take another 2, 3, 4, 5 years at least to have that AI onto that level where you feel confident that, okay, AI is doing something I can trust. As of now, you cannot trust. So, as you said, writing an email, right? AI can write an email, but it cannot bring in that emotions into
Right.
that, right? If you talk about the content writers, they write something that is very generic, right? Because when you do as a human, you bring in some emotions, you bring in some thoughts in there, you do some research onto the statistics and the data that is available, right? So now when you're doing these kind of things with AI, you are dependent. Don't make yourself dependent. And it is rightly said that AI is your coworker, right? You cannot 100% rely, but yes, you have to trust. At one point, you will feel that, okay, AI is doing something that I need, right? But one big challenge, AI will give you most of the answers, most of the things similar to everyone. So if you look onto the websites which these startups are coming up with, right? So they're mostly, if you look at the websites, the layout, you once you see the layout, you'll always feel, oh, this has been designed by AI,
Yes, I have seen that.
right? So that is why, because the capabilities will over the time will increase. As of now, there's a saturation of few things with AI, right? There's a limitation to few things, and then it comes to AI prompting. Now you take an example of a calculator. When calculators came into the industry, people were addicted and they started using the calculators. Now what calculator has done? There are few people, or the more like many people in the world across the globe, right? They cannot do the calculations without the calculator. They need
Yeah,
for the basics
the
also.
mental thinking is a bit reduced for
Yes.
it.
So I think AI will do something like that. But if you are smarter enough to handle AI, then you'll be able to cope up and grow with that. There's no danger in that.
So this reminds me that what if the AI disappeared? Would we still be able to do our jobs like we are doing it right now?
So still, AI is there, but AI, like human interactions or human interference, would always be required. So I'll give you an example. Let's say there are a pool of people, developers who are working on a project, and there's a module which has been given to a junior developer or an intermediate. And what he does is he goes to AI, asks the question, gets the code, pastes it in the project, and he's done. If he finds a bug, he comes back to the code, your AI, right, agents, and asks for the like for the solution, and then it's done. Now, what if that goes on to the production and it fails, and you ask that developer, what is the issue like? So he'll say, I don't know, because he has never gone into the code. He has not checked the code. He has not understood the architecture behind. What he'll do is, again, he'll start doing the research, and you are like facing a challenge on production now. So you don't have to rely 100% on it. right? So humans would always be required.
Yes, because with the social media as well and with the AI as well, the content consumption has increased a lot.
Hmm.
And whatever posts are which are being created and being posted, we are seeing on a daily basis. To
Most
some
of coming
extent,
from
yeah,
AI.
to some extent it's similar,
Yes.
and we can easily guess that it's coming from AI.
Yes.
So I think the creativity is still, if you compare human and AI, the creativity is still needed and is still more in humans, and that is going to be a winner.
So I'll tell you one more thing here. So if you go to x.com and you post any AI generated image, right? They have made it mandatory that they'll mention that this has been generated by AI.
Yes.
So most of the people to create the content in your marketing, right? They are doing this. So now when you're creating a proposal for the marketing, if you're 100% relying on AI and not putting in your brain, not understanding the project, then you will face a problem when you are on the client call. Definitely, right?
Yes.
So here comes the scenario that humans are.
Way smarter.
Yes. So you need those human intervention, interactions, in like inputs in there. So you cannot rely on AI 100%. But still, AI has reduced your workload. It has made you smarter,
Yes.
not lazy.
Not lazy.
Yeah.
So I was listening to some big tech guy, and I'm not mentioning the name here, but he did mention that still most of the thing he's doing with the logical thinking and not using AI. Because when you are in a meeting, when you go face to face, when you
Yes.
are discussing something and the ideas are being generated and the brainstorming is being happened, if you are heavily being relied on AI, the thinking will stop. But if you will do the brainstorming, problem solving without using AI, to some extent, your thinking expansion would be there. And when you are sitting on the table discussing everything, you will be able to create an impact, give answer, and of course, look into to a deeper extent.
Yes. So, very rightly said, when you're meeting to a client, giving the presentation, giving project demos, or discussing about the proposals or future forecasting and anything. So, until unless you have the knowledge,
Yes.
right? So, when you're answering, you have to have the knowledge. So, if you're 100% relying, again, the same thing, 100% relying on AI, you'll be a failure. You have to make it a colleague, you have to make it a co-worker with you, right? So you need to understand what exactly AI is doing. You have to go beyond that, understand the logics, look into the code, and for that you need the engineers.
So, what do you think? Who is gaining more with AI? Maybe in terms of developer, medical industry, real estate, or who is gaining more of
Advantage out of it.
advantage?
So I think everyone. So like if you talk about the students, right, it has become easy for them to learn, right? Problem solving is coming easy for them, like becoming easy for them. And if you go to the juniors, the starters who are getting into the industry, they're becoming powerful with the learning. So if you talk about the industries, and I think medtech, edutech, agritech, so every industry is being benefited out of AI, and they're using it, leveraging it. And one industry that I think will be at boom in coming years, that will be the sports tech. So recently, a few days back, our Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi visited New Zealand, and there he mentioned that there's a new technology stack or the technology that is coming that is related to sports tech, where India and New Zealand they have decided to collaborate. So this will be another new, different kind of technology industry using AI, and advancement would be coming in. So it is all about using AI, and I think every industry is being benefited out of it. So AI is definitely helping you reduce your time, right? So it is not you're not investing time on AI now. It is how you're using your time, utilizing your time in a better way, getting things done faster, quicker, understanding better, and but yes, it requires reviewing. You cannot rely. Again, I'll say, don't rely on AI 100% as of now. It's at a very beginning level. So keep on reviewing.
Interesting. So we can say that good prompting doesn't guarantee good outcome always.
Not always.
There has to be a
Logical
human who
thinking,
needs to
human
think
review, yes.
and enhance that particular thing which you
Absolutely.
are
That
looking.
is needed, right?
Okay, so let's think in terms of our day-to-day routine.
Hmm.
And with the day-to-day routine, I'm talking about the tech world only. So if I come into, like, I'm coming to the office, I'm looking into my leads, I check that okay, AI has called so many people, but ultimately at the end of the day, as a human, I am the one who is going to look into that. Okay, these are the things where, as a human intervention is needed to close those deals.
Yes. So if you're relying on bringing clients through using AI, that won't happen.
Because
That will
that
bring in,
emotion is
yeah,
not there, that
emotion, and then
thought process is
yes,
not
and
there.
there is the so there's one thing that how you brainstorm with your client, how you brainstorm with your problem statement, right? So AI will do up to a limit. Now, recently we developed a solution. You are aware of it. That's interview.ai. So we did not wanted that we obsolete or we remove the HR from the process, right?
Process, yeah.
But what we have done is, so AI takes an initial interview, which is a basic questionnaire that every company requires, and we do not wanted that our HRs keep on putting time because we get a lot of inquiries about that, right? So a lot of candidates come and we have to review. So what we have done is we have created a standalone system for that, right? You go there and AI will review your initial, what we are looking for. So screening is done. Now we have another step. That is where we have created an AI intelligence which does your technical, right, review. So now that technical review can be done by AI. That's not a problem because you are giving a problem statement to somebody, asking the question, or what's their response on that, what their actually how they're going to solve that problem, right? So once that data comes, then we start with the HR part, the human.
Yeah, and one good thing here is that the candidates who are going to apply is going to apply at their ease.
Yeah,
If they're comfortable in like talking in 2 a.m. in the morning, they can do
they
that
can do the review
because
or they can do the
yeah,
interview anytime.
yes,
They're yes. So that brings in a more easy way for candidates, bringing more flexibility, and that has happened because of the AI,
yeah.
right? So yes, AI is bringing value to everyone, but there are challenges. There are challenges because I face into development every day that what code they have done, what thing they have done, right? They are actually not aware of it, and then you have to sit with them, make them understand that don't do this. This will spoil or this will create problems for your future.
Yes, so yeah, that was the thing I was about to ask, that now even if the person is senior or experienced person who is working in an organization, or there a person who is growing his career, so you have given the same tool to both of them, right? And both of them are working on their own project, you can say they are working to, individually their own things, but at the end of the day the output is same, right?
Mhm.
The senior and the experienced
It won't. I
person,
won't agree. It won't be same for both of them.
but as a end user
You
who
will
is,
always see the same
yeah,
result.
who is not technical, as an end user, and seeing that okay, both of them has given me the same
Yes.
output, and for one of them I'm paying very less, and one of them I'm paying a huge amount, which is like where I can hire maybe 4% equivalent to
Mhm.
that. So how do you analyze such thing, and how do you make sure that who is doing the correct work?
So this is a big challenge for the industry. Recently, if you have, you might have heard about that XYZ company laid off so many people because of AI. Now, what they're doing is they're laying off people who are on the top or who are on the higher tiers, right, and bringing more of the AI tools, and assuming that bringing in more junior or middle level, right, engineers will bring in value to their organization. So that purpose has been proven wrong. Now, I'll tell you why. So when you are using giving a tool to two people, right? One is senior, one is a junior, giving same tools, and let's say you're giving the same problem statement to them. So what will be the difference? The difference will be the smart thinking behind that. The difference will be the knowledge and the experience that senior person has. Now, I'm not saying that junior won't have that, but then that would be just few percentage of that.
Yeah, that
right?
deep logical
Right,
thinking somewhere would
somewhere,
be,
right.
yeah.
So let's say, for example, what will be the major difference between both of these? So the major difference will be understanding the architecture, understanding the process and the code and the logic, understanding the database design, right? These things come with experience. You ask an AI, hey AI agent, can you please build let's say a shopping cart for me, right? And you give a very detailed prompt. That's okay, right? But once that has been done, have you reviewed that?
Mhm.
Right, so the problem, or the problem that I face every day with a junior or the starters who are getting into the industry, they do not have the tendency of reviewing, and even if they review, they do not understand.
Yeah, because it's just a copy paste.
Yes, because it's just a copyright, and they're just looking into the review, doing the review of what AI has done, and when they go to the front end user interface or user experience, they feel everything is working. Now when it goes to the production, 1,000 users land on your website,
It
right?
breaks.
It breaks. So there, and the senior developers will look into how this code is flowing, how the engineers will definitely, the experienced engineers will definitely look into how the data is going to the database, right? What are the queries, and how can they optimize that? So that is where I think a major difference comes into.
So, like in your early career as well, people are facing a lot of issues and not able to decide which way to go. Because with AI, most of the redundant job, which is a repetitive task, is reduced now.
Yes.
And the people who are just passing out, or the people who do have an I would say the opportunity that they can do something, they have that thinking capability, but they are still struggling to get the job, just because AI has advanced so much that it is replacing the thinking, it is replacing the manual work, it is replacing the repetitive task. So, what do you suggest? Like, what way they should follow, or what way they should go, so that it is good for them as well to enhance the skills?
So I have been working with AI models and agentic AI, working on the AI deep thinking, and how these machine learning technologies are working with and bringing the outcomes to the AI agents, right? Since last 4 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I have experienced is it's all about learning. So if you're relying on AI, Chat GPT, or Claude, or something, any tool, every tool has their own speciality and their own um, good thing about it. But if you're relying on it, that is where the problem is. You cannot rely. You have to go through a process. So becoming an prompt engineer is not just prompting. There is a process to learn, right? There is a combination of tools that you have to use to get onto one outcome. You can do your basic learning questioning from ChatGPT, going to the Claude, doing more deeper thinking, getting onto some advanced tools, and then getting onto the MVP. So the problem is that everybody starts with the endpoint. They're going to, let's say, a development tool, right, which is an AI based tool, and they'll just start prompting there.
Yeah, whatever tool which has just, they don't
They
have to
can
do
do that,
anything, and that just
right?
gives the output. Yeah.
So if they do the research, understanding, logical thinking, documentation, process, design the architect, design the database, and then go to the AI agentic and ask it to develop that, right? So 2 years back, ChatGPT was your handy tool. Now people are using Claude as a handy tool, which is wrong. Claude is not meant for that. Claude is way more advanced. Claude can give you a lot of uh, like can solve a lot of problems.
More like for a
But
technical
yes,
and more of a deeper thinking.
yes, and so for them, Claude is like GPT. And what is GPT? So GPT is your companion to answer your questions. Before like you used to go to Google, find out 20 links, then find out the best one which was giving you the solution, right? Or maybe go to Reddit, right, and find out your problem statement there, put in your problem statement there, ask people to answer, and you find out that okay, this is the right answer, and that resolves your problem. Tech, tech. So
Stack
tech stack
Overflow.
or tech stack, like we were using that regularly. Now what is happening is a very different. You go to ChatGPT, you tell, and ChatGPT will look into their own database, do the research on the internet, whatever backends they're using to have that data, and they'll come up with a solution to you.
But still,
But still, yes,
still the thinking is needed, because
yes.
it can tell me that okay, these are the things to be done, but uh, suppose I have to integrate something, can it brainstorm with me that okay, this should be there, this should not be
So
there?
this is what I
And
said. Best of the best people fail in this because they do not understand what is exactly the prompting is, right? So when I said when I say that okay, they did the research, they came up with the outcome. Now they have to cross question it. That is this going to solve this problem? Will it create another problem? Will this problem be solved? So you being into technical industry, you know that there are nodes, right?
yes.
So one node connects to another, and another node connects to the other. So there are different nodes, different um, two-way nodes, right? And multiple nodes in there. So you have to think whether your answer, the outcome, is what you're looking for. Will it resolve that problem? Now, here comes the deep thinking. Here comes people who are smart, right? The people who are smart and know about the logical thinking, they'll be able to resolve that.
So as we are discussing about the students, do you think the schools and universities are preparing their students for future?
Yes, I would say that like schools and colleges have started doing that, and it is required as well because AI can be dangerous as well sometimes. So it is very easy for our young generation to reach to ChatGPT, right? Use any not ChatGPT only, but yes, use any AI, Meta AI, ChatGPT, or there are some open platforms as well to answer your questions. So yes, it is. It might be dangerous because if you're asking, though the companies are working and limiting that knowledge sharing is not kept open for the questions which can be dangerous for the students or for anyone, for any human. So we like trying that. The companies are trying that. So I think yes, the school, engineering colleges, or the educational institutes are working on it.
Okay, so in some way, can AI have emotions? Because it is interacting with students, it is interacting with teenagers, it is interacting with like middle-aged people and the senior people as well. So everyone has their own different thought process, and of course, with the experience, they have their own emotions. So do you think AI can have those emotions and suggest based on that?
So not exactly 100% as a human emotions, the thoughtful emotions, but yes, AI is learning. AI is definitely learning from people across the globe. So even if you go to any AI platform, ask some question and tell or maybe give it a prompt that I am feeling upset today because I am facing a problem with my project and I'm not able to cover up that, and we have a milestone delivery, and I need some advice on you how quickly I can do my work, or how quickly I can cover up this module. So AI will not start, okay, let me give you an advice. AI will say, oh, sorry, I'm sorry to know that, and I hope that you will be able to cover up that. So they're bringing in some emotions and some touch in there. But exactly that is not emotion. That is a learning, and that is a way of interacting. One thing I would say to everyone when you're using any AI tool, always use and always be generous to the AI agents as well. Though they are machines, but they also require respect. So always start your prompting with, please, can you?
So is there any difference if I saying my AI that please tell me about this, or saying
Yes,
tell me this?
there will be difference. There will be a
Okay.
difference, and you can definitely try that out because there comes a respect and emotion where AI starts feeling connected with you. So it is like establishing a connection with an agent and then asking for something, or rather than giving an order. Do this for me, right?
Okay.
So don't be rude to your, and you will feel good.
I'll definitely try this
Yes,
when I
definitely.
experience this difference. So we have at Alea IT, we have been implementing AI as well in our
Right.
day-to-day activities, productivity and all. So, what do you think? Would you be hiring an average person with AI or an experienced person without AI?
So at AI, we are open to both. First of all, we are open to both and hiring both kind of people. But one thing that with AI and with Alea IT, what we have done as a management, the major change that we have made into our organization structure is that we have put in huge budget for using the AI. So we would want our developers, engineers, and not only developers and engineers, it is not limited to the development floor. So our HRs are also taking the leverage of AI. I told you about interview.ai. Same with our finance department. We are getting onto integrating with Tally and getting
Payroll.
onto our financial softwares integrated with and using the AI to leverage and to come up with the KPIs and a lot of research like analysis in there.
So, I would say rather AI has made your or our team more smarter instead of being lazy and stopping
Yes,
their thought
absolutely,
process.
absolutely. So 1.5 year I was feeling when I was heading this department of development as a CTO. I was feeling like few people are becoming overheads to us, right? And when I used to go for the management meeting, and I was feeling that few of the departments and their staff is becoming overhead for us. Now with AI, because they were not able to bring in value to us, right? Now when they are started using the AI, we trained them, we gave them the trainings, we gave them the learning, we gave them the courses to complete to understand. And when they did that and they started leveraging this AI, so they have become fruitful and they have become useful, more useful for us.
Beautiful. So,
Yeah.
people who are not able to bring value on the table with the tools, they, of course, they have merged their thought process thinking
Yes.
with AI, and now they are
Right.
also growing and
They're
doing
also,
lots of things.
yes, and they're giving value to our organization as Elia, and we feel confident on them. One thing is that it's because their effort also. So as I said, the human, right? So human needs to have an interest that he wants to learn.
Yeah.
So it is not just keep on asking and doing. So they learn, they started using the tools, they started exploring different AI agents, how they can integrate into their daily routines, making things more useful, powerful, and good for the management and the stakeholders.
So, in a nutshell, I think AI is definitely helping us make more smarter, but
Yes.
of course, on the other side, challenging us to think and not to stop implementing and not to stop doing the logical thinking, and every
Yes,
day challenging
absolutely.
that as well, what you can bring new onto the table.
Right, absolutely. So one last statement for this, I would say that you can be lazy still using AI,
Mm.
but if you're smarter, you will never be lazy. You will become more productive. So to answer your question, I will hire a senior developer or engineer rather than a junior with AI, because my senior would bring in more value to my table, and he can always leverage AI if he's smart.
Amazing.
Thank you, Shweta.
Thank you, Ash.
Wonderful.
Every week, we will explore the ideas, challenges, and opportunity in the business, AI, and how the future of work will reshape. It's not just to give you the answers, but to help you find better questions. Thank you, everyone. Please like the video and subscribe us for more such videos.